Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's McCloud Sandwich here. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you InterVLAN communication. So InterVLAN is when these two PCs in VLAN 10 are going to try to communicate with these two PCs in VLAN 20. And they're going to be able to communicate because this router is going to have two sub interfaces, an interface for VLAN 20 and an interface for VLAN 10. So VLAN 10, the gateway is going to be 10.1.1.1, and for VLAN 20, it's going to be 10.5.1.1. And when we make it down here, I'm going to make the IP addresses a little different, just so it's easier and we can just keep it simple. So for a basic setup, what we're going to do is, I think I explained everything right. Router, switch, boom, boom. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna have a trunk port right here, just so both VLANs can pass through this interface on the switch. Because originally it's an access. This is an access cable right here, and what we just did, we're just gonna switch it to a trunk so it can allow multiple VLANs to pass through. All right, so now what we're gonna do get our network set up. So we're gonna have a 2011 router, and if you want to copy the commands, these are the commands I will be entering. And access list, I'll go into that more late into the video. So we got our router. Now let's go switch. Let's go multi-layer switch. What did I pick? 35. Okay, we got 3650. Actually, I don't really think it matters, but okay. So 3650. And we're gonna go two generic PCs over here and two over here. And I just like to put colors like circles and stuff like that just to make it organized. Let's see, what color do we want to go? We're gonna go, no, not black. Let's go green. Add the custom colors. Oh yeah, so add it. Make sure you add it to custom colors, just because when you get, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because when you get to this one, it'll be there. So that way you can just select the same color that you had instead of having to remake the same color twice. Alright, and now we're gonna do, that's for VLAN 10. Let's see, and let's go, oh, that's good. And that's good for that. Then we're gonna add this side. Alright, cool. Bada bing, bada boom. Move these over just a little bit. Now I like to add my labels. So now let's go VLAN 10. And let's go VLAN 20. And 20. And then let's go VLAN 10. Gateway is going to be, let's see, let's make it 192.10.15.1. And then over here, let's make VLAN 20. Gateway is going to be 192.20. Oh ho ho, we changed it. Oops. .1. Alright. So now we got our gateways. And then This is going to be a trunk port. Like that. Trunk. And then, alright, let's start adding our cables. So we're going to go boom, 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 boom. Alright, so to make things easier, what you could do, let me just do that first. Alright, so you can just use the lightning bolt, connect from there to there. It's a whole lot easier. If you are just trying to get things done fast, that's what you can do. But it's good practice to do it like in each individual, because this is what you have to do in the real world. But the lightning bolt just makes things easier. It's just going to go to the next available port, and you just go about it that way. Alright, so we got the cables on now, so now we got to start configuring. So let's go PCs, IP config. Whoops. Alright, so now DHCP. If you want to do DHCP, I'll go more into that if it just later on in one of the other videos. And this is VLAN 10, so we're gonna go 192 dot, what is that, 10 dot 15 dot 1 subnet mask, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, make sure you really get good with subnetting, because not every IP address is going to start off with 192, and not every subnet is going to have 255.255.255.0. Everything is not going to be that simple. Default gateway for this one is 192.10.15.1. And just so you know, this right here is a subnet /24. The CIDR is /24. Just so you know, if you want to look more into it, then Google IPv4 subnet, and you should find a picture or something of Google. You should find something. If you need to know the link or anything, I'll just leave a comment below or put a like up, and or just write a comment, and I'll reply. Alright, so now what we gotta do is we're gonna go to command prompt, gonna make sure the IP is configured right. Yep, 192.10.15.1, and that's what we see right there. Alright, oh, haha. See, this is why I do this part, because how am I gonna have an IP address of .1 and the gateway of .1? That wouldn't make sense, now would it? Alright, so now we're gonna do the same thing, hit up, boom, now we see our change. Now we're gonna try to, well, we can't ping it yet because it's not up. Alright, so now let's go to this one. .192.10.15.10, same subnet. Let's see, 192.10.15.1 IP config. Yep, everything looks good. Now we're gonna do the same over here. We're just gonna do different IP addresses. 192.20.15.6, 255.255. Blah 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 blah, and 192.20.15.1 IP config, and there we go. Alright, so now we got that last PC. 192.1. Oh, almost did one. What? 192.168. 20.15.1 and 10. Boom. Alright, now we got that. Let's see. Now we got all the PCs set up. Now we're gonna go with, then we're gonna do the switch. Must be powered on. Does. You're not too smart, are ya? And now, there we go. Whoa, look at that. Enable global config. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna configure everything. No, I'm just kidding. So in the switch, we got quite a lot to do because we have to, first we have to, on these interfaces right here, we have to allow access or change the access to let the certain VLAN pass through. So we have to let this interface, each one of them, we have to let it know, okay, this VLAN is going to pass through here. This VLAN is you're gonna get VLAN 10, you're gonna get VLAN 20, you're gonna get VLAN 20, just like that. So we're gonna do, let's do VLAN 10 first. So, all right. So on the switch, we're gonna go. Actually, no. Let's do the router first. Make things simple. And then let's go interface get GI 1 0 1, and then we're gonna go switch port trunk. Whoops. Mode trunk. This is enabling command rejected. Oh, okay. So whenever you get that, just go access first and then switch to trunk. Just because it's a multi-layer switch, and for multi-layer switches, it's instead of it automatically being on access like the regular switches are, it's not. It's so you have to put it on access first. So you have to go switch port mode access to switch it to an access port, and then switch it to a trunk. So, alright, so switch port. Now that we enabled trunking, the trunk 802.1q, now we have to go into our trunk settings. Whoops. And now what we can do is we're gonna do first, we're gonna do encapsulation. This is right there, as you can see. This is saying, okay, we're gonna, hold on, let's see. And then we're gonna encapsulate .1q, which is, this is the program. Jeez, I can't even speak today. This 802.1q is the protocol for trunking. 802.1q, .1q, .1q. Just so you know, when you go into CCNA, .1q, .1q. If you see that, I'm just saying. Alright, so .1q. Alright, so now we encapsulated .1q. So now we have to go switch port. Now this is where you have to allow VLAN blah blah blah. And for this one, since it's a trunking and it's allowing both VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go VLAN 10 through 20. So that way, because you can't put commas on here. And if you go, actually what I'll do is I'll do that same line. I'll go 10, and now watch. Do show run. Oops. Do show run. Now, see, right here is where you can see it changed, because originally I had 10 through 20 and it worked, but it can only allow one line for switch port trunk allowed. You can only allow one line. You can't have multiple lines. So if I do that same thing and I go for 10 through 20 and then hit enter, what you'll see is, see, you only allowed one line. So you just go, because you could, if you were able to do multiple lines, I would do switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and then VLAN 20 to make things easier, so it doesn't allow a whole plethora of VLANs through one, which, I mean, I guess you're gonna have to do that now. That's why you have port security and I mean, we'll get into port security in a sec because that's what this is about. But you there's a security to allow to prevent someone from just coming in and just being, oh, okay, I'm on VLAN, blah blah blah, kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So there's security measures for different things, and we're about to do one of them actually. So we're gonna do port security and MAC. We're gonna do port security, MAC address sticky, and I'll go into that in actually just in a little bit because it's not that far. So let me stop going off in a rant and actually teach you something. So, okay, so we just did interface. Okay, now we don't have to do no shut because we have to make sure we keep the interface administratively up. So we just did no shut, and that was interface 101. Boom. And it's not going to be up right now because we haven't configured the router and did a no shut command on the router as well. But we're still not done with the switch because we have to go interface. We have to go interface gig 102. Actually, let's go interface range so we can do 2 and 3. What? We can do that? Yeah, you see that? So we can do a range of, and we can just go switch port access VLAN 10 for both of these, and it's creating VLAN 10. I know you are. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. So then you got switch port. Okay. If you can do that if you want. Let's go switch port. Now we're gonna enable port security. So we're gonna switch port security, and you have to enable it for it to work when you, because you can do switch port security, and then you can put MAC address, and then do all these crazy commands, but it's not gonna be in effect until you actually enable port security by just doing that. Switch port security. All right. So now you got switch port security. Then you're gonna do switch port security. And now you're doing your commands. Now you're getting into the meat and potatoes right here. MAC address. And then now we're gonna see our options. So we could either put it in manually, or we could allow the switch to find it automatically. So what we're gonna do, since technology has allowed us to do so, we're gonna do sticky because we wanted to do automatically. And this is what technology is here for, to make us lazy. So we're gonna let the technology make us lazy. So we're gonna go sticky. And then we're gonna go with a spanning tree port fast. Boom. And this is just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Should only be enabled on ports connected to a single host. So if you were to have on this interface, if you were to have a phone, voice over IP, and a PC at the same time, it's saying that this port security, spanning tree port fast would not be effective. It'll be mostly effective in situations like this, where it's just straight line and straight to the PC, no in between, no middleman, no nothing. All right. So let's go. So now that we got that out the way, I did MAC address sticky, blah blah blah. Base range. 1 0 3 no 4 and 5. So now we got that. Oh wait, I forgot gig. So now we're gonna face 4 and 5, which I forgot to do no shut for the last two, but it's okay because they're still up. But always make sure you do no shut. See, all right, so we're gonna do the same thing, but for these two, it's just gonna switch to VLAN 20. All right, so access, switch port mode. Whoops, access VLAN 20. All right, creating blah blah blah, and then now we're gonna do, remember that port security. We're gonna do that port security, enabling it. Now we're gonna hit our commands up. Yo, what's good, commands? Let's get that sticky going. Boom, so wrong. Oh well. Let's see, switch port. I said switch port. Spanning tree, port fast. And if you want to know, these are your options. And as you see, enable an interface to move directly to forwarding on link up. Boom. Alright. Spanning tree, port fast. There we go. Port fast. Port fast and in a hurry. What? Alright. So now we just did that. So now we're going to check to see if MAC address sticky was effective. Let's go end. And we're going to go show run. And we should see, nope. It did not. Okay, so whenever this happens, when you don't see a MAC address, all you have to do, well, all I do, is there's two ways you can go about this. One, you could either disconnect each one and then reconnect it, which would be so fast and easy, or you can reload, well, reboot the entire switch. But I'm going to do real world practice, and I'm not going to reload the whole switch, because if I were to reload the whole switch in real life, you lose a lot, your company lose a lot of money, because traffic wouldn't be coming through, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So what we're gonna do is disconnect 2 3 4 and 5. So now if we come in here, it should, yep, 1 2, oh no, okay, so all 4 of them, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 and 4, all good. So now we just have to do the configure the router. Oh wait, always never forget, copy run start. All right, and all we did was copy the running config to the startup config, which means the running config now will be saved to the startup config. So every time it starts from here on out until we save again, it will start with what we have now. Easy? Too easy. Cool. So now, oh yeah, okay. So now the router. Now we're gonna go to the router. We're gonna go nope. Enable global config. Now we're gonna go into, we're gonna make our sub interfaces. There we go. FA 0/0 dot 10. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna encapsulate dot 1. This is just saying, okay, we're gonna enable the trunking protocol. Oh, man. And we're gonna do encapsulate dot on the trunking protocol. We're gonna encapsulate VLAN 10 with this sub interface. And I hit enter. and then you gotta add the IP address. So IP add, wow, IP add 10 dot. Then we, oh wait, oh, I'm lying. 192.10.15.1. Okay. And then we gotta add our subnet mask. Yep. 255.255.255.0. And at some point in time, you may see something where it goes ABCD and then it says wildcat, or well, I said wildcat. Jeez, wildcard. That's completely different from subnet mask. That's like that's. I mean, it's still subnetting. You can see it on the subnet sheet, but it's the opposite. Like you would have 255.255.255.0, where the wildcard would be the opposite. So it won't be the 255. It'll be 0.0.0. whatever for whatever subnet it is. It's like the host. Like this is the network part, and then this is the host part. All right, so IP add, blah blah blah. Now I did the IP address. Now, let's do ahead and do. Okay, let's exit actually. No. Yeah, let's exit because I have to make the access list first in order to do what I was gonna do next. Access list, and then we're gonna make 100, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna deny IP host, and then so whenever you get here, you go access list, and then I just do. So we got the extended access. Well, you got the standard, which is 1 through 99, and then you got the extended access list. So we're gonna go with an extended access list. Extended is always cool. You always want to extendo. Alright, so 100. And we're gonna you go from here. Alright, so where can I go? Remark, permit, deny. Too easy. I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to deny traffic or permit traffic? So we're gonna go deny. And when you go deny, it's an implicit deny. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a second. IP host 1.1. Golly. See, this is what happens when you look on something, when you just look at something and reference off of it. You start getting caught up in making wrong mistakes and stuff. Let's see. I don't want .6 to communicate with. Let's say 192.20.15.10. Let's say the 10 computer or 10 PC. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go access list 100, and then implicit deny. What that is so now we have to permit other traffic. IP any. So what I'll do is I'll show it over here. So I ain't got time for that. So we got this is gonna be our house party. We have a house party, and this is your bouncer. Grrr. You know, little belly to make him look big. Grrr, rawr. All right, so this person, or the bouncer, is supposed to either let someone in or not let someone in, based on if they're on the list or not, right? And everyone uses the bouncer in the club, blah blah blah. Okay, so you come walk in, and you say, "Oh, hey, I'm 10.1.1. I mean, or I'm 192.10.15.1. Can I come in? I I want to talk to my friend is 192.20.15.10, and what you're gonna see is, okay, the bouncer's gonna look on the list and be like, all right, actually no, that was that was a bad example. Um, let's say he's 192.10.15. The second PC dot 10, because what the rule that we had was dot 6 can't talk to dot 10, so he's gonna be dot 10 saying he wants to come over here. So with that, he's gonna dot 10 is gonna say, oh, I want to come in, I want to speak to my friends that are in there, and the bouncer's gonna say, well, you're not on the list, and the list only says don't allow dot 6 to come in, but it doesn't say your name. So I'm just not gonna let you in because no one else's name is on the list other than it's telling me not to let this person in. If that makes sense, that's what an implicit deny is. It's okay. No one else is on the list, so no one's allowed to get through. Even though it says I don't want dot 6 to talk to dot 10, I also don't know why. I also don't know why you can't come in. Well, I do know you can't come in because your name's not on the list, and so is everyone else. All right, easy enough. I probably confused you, but never mind. But that's the basic gist of, actually that is. So what we did was we said we wanted to go IP access. Access list permit IP any, because it's saying that we want to allow any other traffic to talk to any other, or any other PC can talk to any other PC, but just dot 6 cannot talk to dot 10. So now let's go in here. Oh, we forgot to do no shut actually on the router. Even if we did no shut, we didn't even finish our interface. Interface FA 0/0.10, and then we're gonna finish off. And then now we have to say in this access, we wanna, it's a group. So we made the list, and now this interface is gonna be a part of that group. And then we're gonna say we want it to be in the group 100 on inbound, going inbound. So all inbound traffic, that's what we want to add that group to. Now we're going to go interface FA. You can do no shut. And then interface FA 0/0.20 for VLAN 20. And we're going to do the same exact thing. And encapsulate dot 20 blah blah blah. Then we're going to do the IP. We got to have an IP address. I don't need to do all that. 192.20.15.1. Oopsies. Actually, yeah. 20.1. Oh yeah, 7 mask, 255.255.0. And then we're gonna add this to that group as well. 100, and this is still going to be inbound. It's going to be inbound as well. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So now we got to save. Actually, no. We're going to exit interface FA 0/0. No shut. And then now we're going to ping 192.10.15.10. Oh wait. Ping 192.10.15.10. Oh, we just gotta test it out. So we're gonna go here, command prompt, and then we're gonna go ping 192.1. First, what we're gonna do, we're gonna ping the PC that's in our VLAN. So .10.15.10, and we get a response, or we get a reply. I'm sorry. Then we're gonna ping our gateway, so 192.10.15.1. We get a reply. Ping, and now we're gonna go over to the other VLAN, .15.6. Alright. And then this is where we're gonna check our access list. And you see, host unreachable, which means our access list actually worked. So, and we can ping everyone else, and everyone else can ping everyone else, except .6 and over here .10. So now we have successfully configured an InterVLAN communication network. So what else am I missing? Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. So when you ping across a network, you may get where is it? Okay, right here. You may get request timed out, and the reason that'll happen is because you have to give it some time. If once you've just configured a new route, you have to give it time to actually figure out that route. Like, it has to be able to establish that route first before it can actually carry on. That's why it only out of 4 of them, 3 sent, because this one was okay. My route is what? Oh, all right. And by the time it figured out, it timed out on the first packet, and then the others got a reply. All right. So that's it. If you got any other questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button for this video, and I will be doing more videos like this. And let me know if you want some more videos like this. Let me know if I need to go in detail with others, or if I missed something, if I got something wrong. Just let me know. Just leave a comment, and yeah, make a roast sandwich out.